let's get into some drag race news. Let's talk about the Golden Bitchelor. So, for the record, I will say this. Thank you, drag gods, that this third bracket is over. This has been the most frustrating, annoying, pain in the ass 3 episodes that I've had to sit through in my entire drag race viewing experience, lifetime, whatever the hell you want to call it. And shout out to Roscoe's because I got to watch them later. Because I saw that video that was going around that Nation Lopez had to read Got Mick and them for their little side ass comment that they made. Them and Violet Chachki, where they talking about that a lot of the girls go on Roscoe's to ruin their careers. And I'm like, compared to the shit y'all say, and the fact that Got Mick basically just acts like she's a lapdog to freaking anything that Violet Chachki says. And with all this discourse surrounding Ginger Minj, quiet as it's kept, and I still stand 10 toes down on this, Ginger should have won season 7. But the fact of the matter was, y'all gave it to who y'all gave it to, and this is the result. So now, with the many a times she has applied on the show, now y'all want to play in our face and try to act like Ginger deserves to make it all the way into what she did. When it was production did what they did, to make sure that she made it into the semifinals. Because we're going to really be clear on this show. That first episode, how'd she end up in the top 2 in every episode? The first episode with the fashion, no. She was not given fashion. I still stand on the fact that Denali and Acid Betty should have won that challenge. That's what I was rooting for. Die Betty and her situation with Ginger, no. Especially when Ginger is not a fashion girl or a sewer. Like, come on now. And then the second episode, how the hell she beat Denali? I'm still on that one. Now, in this recent one with the Golden Bitchelor, now I understand, like, okay, it was justified that she made it in the top 2 because improv, comedy, that is her wheelhouse. So she definitely deserves, and I think that production knew that them other challenges, because here's the thing, and I totally forgot about this. When we watched the first episode of the third bracket, none of the other brackets did teams. The only ones that did teams was bracket 3. Why did y'all wait till this whole situation to all of a sudden do bracket 3? I mean, do teams with this bracket, which the only ones that was really bringing the drama was Acid Betty. So I was living for Acid was really stepping up to the plate and bringing the drama, not to the degree of Mistress Isabel Brooks, which we saw from the preview next week when all the girls come together in every nation. That Mistress is starting her mess again, and it looked like she about to start with Ginger Minj, which this is not a spoiler. With the way the point system was, when she already had a 6-point lead, y'all already knew that production made sure to guarantee a spot for Ginger to be in the semifinals. And I'm glad that my prediction was correct, because I was like, do y'all think they're going to wait until the semifinals to do Snatch Game? And we saw in the next episode, that is the next challenge, is Snatch Game. And they said there's going to be an elimination. So we're going to see all of that. So yeah, we already know the drama that happened with Ginger. I don't think I'm going to spend too much time on this because this episode frustrated the hell out of me. I was not all that entertained and excited by it. Although I will say this, Zane Phillips is a snack. I have been wanting to have that boy sit on my damn face since Fire Island. And he's appeared in other things. Yeah, look how fine that man is. He's a cutie. And I was like, Zane can get it. I know the whole acting challenge thing when he was doing improv with some of the girls, like it wasn't working in certain situations. But yeah, we all knew that Ginger was going to do the damn thing. So yeah, and then here's another thing that we need to talk about. I was confused. Well, she wasn't the only one. Alyssa was confused that Ginger won the lip sync. We all was confused. And I understand that some of the girls want to be diplomatic in their feelings about it, particularly Denali. I just really wish that she would have just went and just let her feelings be known. She tried to be a little more diplomatic and pageantry in her answer, but girl, we knew you was pissed. And you weren't the only one, and you could feel how you feel. We're not saying that you need to take it out on Ginger, because it's not Ginger's fault. This is production being messy and want to create this discourse. So now it puts Ginger in a awkward position, because now people are looking at it as, well, now I don't want Ginger to win out of spite because of the way they did bracket 3. So this is a way production's fault. because of this little shady ass game that y'all playing. So yeah, then after that, and then Alyssa wound up getting into it with Diabetica because Diabetica, for some reason, was in her Delulu era and thought, oh, well, you said, even though they were using the word consistent wrong, they kept saying consistently. I was getting irritated about it. I was like, but I get it. She's Puerto Rican. English is not her first language. I let her rock. So she was like, yes, I said, I'm giving my point based on who is the most consistent in the challenge. I did not think you were that girl. But in Diabetica's head, she thought, oh, well, you said you was going to give a point to me. Oh, bitch, I never said I was giving my point to you. So I don't know where in your head you thought that, because to me, Cuckoo was consistent. So I'm giving it to Cynthia. Now, if that's how she felt, that's how she felt. Don't be sitting up in here thinking that, because we was, seasoned sisters, that I'm gonna give you my point, that there was some type of alliance that I didn't know we was in. And you're gonna accuse me, oh, I can't trust him. Well, bitch, I guess you're gonna have to not trust me then. Because then you were like trying to control the narrative and clean it up so you wouldn't come off looking like the villain of your season again. But then you went back into the old Diabetica ways, which was like, oh, I don't know if I can trust you. Oh, well, then I guess you're not going to have to then. But what you're not going to do is accuse me of being a liar and all these other things when that's not true. So then, of course, Cynthia had to come in and break up the tension by getting the chunkla out, which was hilarious. But yeah, I don't even want to talk about the Bitchelor challenge because that shit was so damn stupid. I watched a couple of minutes of it. Like I watched a couple of the little things and I was like, this is so dumb. I don't care. I'm fast forwarding. So I just went to the elimination day, caught up all that. Hence why I just talked about the whole thing with Alyssa and Diabetica having their conversation again. And then Alyssa getting annoyed because you're not really listening to the situation. So the category on the runway was paper dolls. I was looking for the outfits, although I will say this. The one that I did not think stood out for me, and I think everybody could pretty much be in unanimous belief with this, but I did not like Cuckoo's outfit. It just looked like some paper mache type mess. Like the little ball, like when you go to the supermarket and they be hanging like the little paper mache things in the supermarket. That's what it was giving. Like you literally just stole the paper mache from the supermarket and just glued it to your outfit and called it a look. It wasn't giving. This is why I'm loving the fact that even in the end, when Ashley Betty said, I'm going to just be making Cynthia's looks, I was here for it. So, what's it? Oh, so then TS. So, in regards to the whole paper dolls look, TS told Ginger that the improv was coming so fast, and Rue tells her that her listening in the challenge gave her the advantage. Well, people need to realize a part of improv, the secret of improv, is always saying yes. It's never saying no to the thing. It's always whenever somebody throws something at you, you respond to it. So it's always accepting the yes, going with whatever's being thrown at you. Never just push away or deny what is being. Well, is this the direction we going? Because one of the things when I took acting, the classes that I've always jumped into, like I would always jump into other classes, but the one that always resonated with me was improv. Like maybe that kind of shaped the way my brain, I can easily think on the fly in so many ways. I mean, y'all already know every now and again I forget stuff, but for the most part I can always just like off the fly just really come up with stuff. And I think that was like from the years of when I would take acting classes, how I resonated with a lot of the improvisation part of acting. Then, of course, we had Miss Mama's Michelle going on this whole Marie Antoinette situation. Why does everybody wears an Elizabethan look always is the go-to? So Marie Antoinette, I'm like, I'm sure that's probably, maybe that wasn't what she was thinking. Maybe she was thinking the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland. I'm just trying to find, situations around the situation, but it gets on my nerves with this whole thing about Marie Antoinette. Or they always say it looks costume. I'm like, what the fuck do you think drag queens wear? Couture? It's a costume. So sometimes the way these judges be judging, I be side on y'all. Or sometimes how y'all just be inconsistent in how y'all decide on who wins. Like I just be confused by the rules. Maybe there is no rules. I don't know. So then Mayan Lopez, who came back. Well, here was another thing. This is the second episode, or maybe I haven't been really paying attention. Why do y'all have people come on, but then you don't have them as the judge? Like last week, I wanted Orville Peck to be on the panel. He wasn't there. He did the singing challenge, but he wasn't on the panel. And Zayn was in the acting challenge, but you didn't have him on the panel. You brought George Lopez's daughter. So yeah, Maya Lopez, who is George's daughter, loved Denali's cultural look, and Michelle calls it fantastic. That's why I was like, when she said it was the different cultures, it was like Mexican. I forget what the other culture was, but I'm like, wait, so Denali is like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she is Latina. She does give me spicy, icy, and a little bit pricey. I don't know, that song just popped back because that is a lyric from her. Um, so yeah, there was that. So she liked her look, and I do agree. I did love Denali's look. Then Michelle said there was no shame to ask his Marie Antoinette look because it's made of paper. All the judges loved how far she went with her character in the challenge. I did like Ginger Minge's outfit because it was made of newspapers and stuff, and they had like all the different things that was a part of the paper thing. And then a part of following the deliberations, the top two queens ended up being Ginger and Diabetica. The two queens lip sync to Mama Used to Say, Take Your Time, a Young Man. And Mama used to say, Don't you want to get on? You know, I used to love that song when I was younger. You know, me growing up and the kid, you know, my mother playing all that old school music in the house. And Mama used to say, Bye. Doom, doom, doom. That was my shit. So, spoiler alert, here's your top three. None other than Cuckoo, Diabetica, and Ginger Minge. So after all that bitching that Diabetica did, she ended up in the damn semifinals anyway. And so all the other girls was like, you know what, we're not going to make it. So what we're going to do is, because I think that's where a lot of the upset came from, was the fact that Cuckoo was given a lot of the points when the episode opened up and it was on the couch. So people was feeling away. People meaning Diabetica. So then, as far as like who voted for who's voting who, Cynthia gave her point to Alyssa. This is like when they had to do it on the stage. Denali gave her MVQ point to Acid. Alyssa gave her MVQ point to Denali. And Acid gave her MVQ point to Cynthia. So that was like, you know, Acid had to be the tiebreaker because it was between Denali and it was between Cuckoo. And me, I personally wanted Denali to make it in, but I already have this feeling. I don't know, because I don't know this part to be true, because I haven't really looked into the spoilers. The only spoiler I know about is who's in the top two in the finale. And if y'all don't want to know who that is, I ain't going to tell y'all. But one of them is in this picture. But that's one hint. Now, in regards to that, I wanted Denali to make it, but I have a feeling Denali will be the swing vote by the judges. That's why I feel like they should choose, because Denali did good. It wasn't fair what they did to Denali in regards of the production and all that other mess. So I'm hoping that the judges will be smart enough to choose out of all the other girls, Denali to make it into the finale, because I would love to see Denali in the Lollapalooza, because we already know she performs the house down. That is why I feel like it should make it. And I'm hoping it does. And then some people were saying that they think that they, you know, the sleuths, the drag race sleuths, feel that Denali is in the finale, or in the that makes it through, because they said during her confessionals, if you notice, she had on the same outfit, but the hair is longer in certain shots, meaning that she did her stuff later on, some of her other videos and things. So that's where some people feel like that's where that might be a giveaway. So yeah, overall, the episode was trash. All Stars 10 bracket 3 was not it for me. And then to point this out, Ginger Minge has won 3 maxi challenges, 2 points each, and 2 top 2 lip syncs, 1 point each. She didn't receive any MVQ points in the bracket. Ginger's final score is 8 points. Diabetica won 2 maxi challenges, 2 points each, and 1 top 2 lip sync, 1 point. She also received 1 MVQ point. Dia's final score is 6 points. Now, Cuckoo, aka Cynthia Lee Fontaine, didn't win a maxi challenge. It didn't have a top 2 lip sync. However, she received 5 MVQ points during this bracket. So Cynthia has 5 points. So she got through because the girls pushed her into the finale, the semifinals, I should say. And so politics helped her get where she needed to get. Now, is she going to win? No, we know she's not going to win the show, but seeing her being in the semifinals and her being entertaining, and we'll see how well she excels at Snatch Game, depending on what type of Snatch Game version that they're planning on doing. But we'll find out when all the brackets merge, and we see how how it all goes down. And as I like to say, I can't wait to see how this turns out. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story with the latest recap? Child, it was dry and tired. I was, if I could just burn this at the stake like Miss Mamas was screaming Balenciaga, I would. But we got out of our system. Hopefully the girls will bring it when the new episode airs on Friday. If it airs on Friday, because it is July 4th. So they might air it anyway, I'm guessing. But it is coming this week. We'll see how it all goes down when all the brackets merge and the drama ensues and all that good stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this overall topic and this Drag Race recap in the comments down below.